All right, folks, grab your coffee. It's Monday, August 3rd, 2026. We got to get you tapped in. It's going to be a very busy week here in these markets. Will we get the Clarity Act vote? We'll be breaking it all down. And then we also got to take a look at the most recent investments that Ripple has made to expand the capital markets that are going to be built on the XRP ledger. This is where we start to talk about XRP as collateral. And then we'll be talking about going down that path to very high prices the more XRP gets locked up and parked as collateral. So let's get you guys right on into the episode. I appreciate you for stopping by. If you're new here, make sure you guys have subscribed and hit that notification bell. We'll be back live Tuesday, Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Michael Gayad, and we got to give credit where credit's due. Michael has been on this reverse carry trade for years. He was the first person I ever saw bring it up. I think that he's been pretty spot on. The real question is, though, how much further can they kick the can down the road? How many different facilities can they tap into to save the day? And so Michael's responding to President Trump's statement on why they bailed out Japan with this massive intervention that we just saw. And Michael says, you bailed out Japan because they will, They will get rid of treasuries, U.S. treasuries, to save themselves from oil priced in yen, forcing the greatest deleveraging event of our lifetimes otherwise. That is why they had to come in and save Japan, was to save themselves. Now, Japan is saying that they will use the international repo facility at the Fed in the future to boost the yen and avoid having to sell U.S. treasuries. So that coordination, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, President Trump, they can't let Japan just dump all these treasuries. And this is proof. The fact that they're already signaling that they're going to go to this facility. And like I said, every time we think they can't keep pushing it, kicking the can down the road further, they bring it back out and they find another facility to come in and save the day. Now, this FIMA repo facility at the Federal Reserve, this is the Foreign and International Monetary Authority's repo facility. It's a standing Federal Reserve backstop that lets approved foreign central banks and monetary authorities temporarily convert U.S. Treasury securities held in custody at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York into U.S. dollars without selling them in the open market. Now, guess when this facility was created and introduced? You're right, March of 2020. During everything going on then, that's when this repo facility was created. And so this allows foreign central banks and monetary authorities to have a backstop provided by our Federal Reserve. Oh, wait, it's not our Federal Reserve. It's the private banking cartel's Federal Reserve. It has nothing to do with the U.S. government. It is not part of the federal government, and they have no reserves. But they have a backstop, which is funded by our Treasury and by us allowing this to continue going on. And we're going to be watching to see if it's enough. They were able to push down USD versus JPY, got pushed down to 155 here in the past 24 hours. So they were able to save the day for now. But it's one of those things. It's like an addict, right? They keep on needing a bigger and bigger fix every time to get that same high. Same thing taking place in these markets and the currency intervention. We'll be watching very closely. Now, here in the United States of America, we just got a massive bullish print on the ISM Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index. This came in at 55.6, while the expectation was at 54. This is the highest level since June of 2022. The U.S. economy is back into expansion. And this is very important for us all to watch here. In fact, let me refresh my chart here because I have to bring it to the 1 month chart. And what you guys will see right here, let me reset price to scale. Here you guys go. Here's the full shot. This is your ISM Purchasing Managers Index, and I drew this green box here on the anticipation that we were going to go back into expansion in 2026. Sure enough, we did, and we continue climbing. Now, this thing is nowhere near the high that we hit back here in 2021, up at 64, but we're not far off, and we're moving in that direction. And so now we just need that to be felt in the broader economy. Obviously, this is just an index of the purchasing managers in the manufacturing sector of the U.S. economy. It's one data point, but it's been a leading indicator, and we see a very, very tight correlation with our crypto bull run. So a positive signal here. And really, we want we want data points like this. We want growth in our markets. We want to head back into a crypto bull run based off of strong fundamentals, like based off of real demand, not papered over. I don't like where we're at right now with, peace talks are back on. Sure, they are. We're stepping in here to save the yen. Why do we even have a Federal Reserve? I don't like where we're at. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. Like I said, I don't want our government picking winners and losers. I don't like our government being involved. I wish our government would just get the hell out of the way. But this is what we're dealing with. A lot of manipulation, a lot of intervention, a lot of propping things up. The PMI comes in and it's a positive print, but the average person at home, are they feeling very positive about the situation right now? That's the disconnect. That's the K-shaped economy. That's the gap between the haves and the have-nots. What I want to do is get you on the right side of the transfer of wealth. And I've been saying that maybe we should be questioning some of these characters that came along and were supposed to be the darlings of the crypto space, the big representatives of the crypto space. We've kind of been saying, well, let me hold back my comments. I don't want to make any statements about people that might upset them. People get upset when you call them out. Michael Saylor, he might need to be called out, though, because he sold 1,637 Bitcoin, another $100 million worth of Bitcoin. The guy that said, sell your kidney before you sell Bitcoin. Mortgage your house to buy Bitcoin. He was the poster child of Bitcoin. How'd that program work out for you, Bitcoiners? I know there's not many, Bitcoin maxis in our chat, but just, we were right. We were right all along with how this is going to play out. And now it's, and this is where we need to mature, right? You allow these guys to blow up. You allow the frauds to be exposed. You allow their lies to be exposed. You allow their manipulation to be exposed. Their business model, which is a variation of a scheme. Don't you dare call it a Ponzi scheme. Let it all blow up. We are cheering this on. Michael Saylor selling Bitcoin, good. Let him be exposed. Let all of these guys be exposed. Let's clean it up. Let's let the adults in the room take the stage here, and let's actually show the rest of the world what crypto can actually be about, which is not just financial engineering, different Ponzi schemes to try to lure more dumb money in, but actually solving real problems. I'm so excited for that. I hope it works out for those involved in the strategy scheme. Oh boy. Now, and this is where everybody's so worried about Clarity Act, and I am too. It definitely would be a boost. We'd love to see it. We need it. Has to be done. But in the meantime, make no mistake, the institutions are moving on crypto regardless. BlackRock proving the point, launching tokenized money market fund on Ethereum. Guys, this is not stopping, and it's coming to the XRP Ledger 2, folks. This is massive right here. Anchor. And by the way, when's the BlackRock XRP ETF coming? You want to talk about all the world's a stage? Boy, they're waiting to play that act out, aren't they? They're waiting for that one. Anchor, public RPC, is now live on XRP Ledger Foundation. This is giving developers direct access to native payment channels, our decentralized exchange, and cross-currency settlement ahead of the upcoming lending protocol launching on mainnet. So no node setup is required. You just connect and start building. Now, this brings us into XRP being used as collateral, and this gets us going down a path to prices that are higher than $1, $2, $3. Maybe we add a couple zeros. Maybe we add a few zeros. I'm not going to get you too excited here this Monday morning, though. Ripple, deepening our push into capital markets. We're investing in Xyllo and Lesseudo to add regulated transfer agency and issuance and collateral mobility to our capital markets and infrastructure built on the XRP Ledger. This comes on the heels of Aviva Investors tokenizing its US dollar liquidity fund on the XRP Ledger last week. A clear signal that institutions are ready to move, and Ripple is here to help them. Guys, this is so important. I'm going to be doing a whole separate video where I break this down in depth. We can go through some of the hypotheticals about, how much XRP could actually be locked up in this collateral. We'll kind of play around with that. And of course, we'll talk about, the path to very high numbers. And I'm going to prepare that for you guys. But you need to understand, this setup is so beautiful for XRP. Regulations are arriving right as our DeFi is arriving. So we're not going to be participating in some Wild West DeFi that we've been participating in up until now, right? Ethereum, Solana, all this DeFi and crypto, it's all been unregulated for the most part. It's the Wild West. People are getting scammed. There's a new bug. There's a new hack. It's all issues. It's all Wild West. Here, come invest in this scheme where we're going to pay you out 5,000 APY. What could go wrong? Time Wonderland, 80,000% APY. And there was literally folks that said, yes, take my money. What do you expect? What do you expect? And we took flack back in 2021 for calling Wonderland a Ponzi scheme that was going to blow up. I said, this is a cute little decentralized Ponzi scheme. How long till it blows up? I don't know, but it's going to. This is not going to work. And I was attacked by little TikTok influencers back in 2021 for calling out this crap. Fast forward to 2026, and people are still mad at us for calling out, the next variations of financial engineering and Ponzi schemes that have arrived in the crypto space. Some decentralized, some centralized. And people are still pissed off with us. That's okay. We're not going to stop because we want to see this space mature. Because as I'm outlining right here, this gets us to a spot where it's not just us, it's institutions that are parking XRP as collateral. This is what changes, our variables change, and the end price, which the last variable, which is the output, which is the price of XRP, goes to a much higher price, right? The more collateral that we can lock up, the less XRP you have to go settle 14% of Swift, to go settle some activity at the DTCC, to go settle some activity at some of these other flows, some of these other liquidity venues, right? If we have all this XRP that's parked as collateral in lending and borrowing and DeFi and different activity like that, that's XRP that can't be used for cross-border payments. That's XRP that can't be used for any of these liquidity flows. So that means you need the XRP at a higher price to be able to settle those flows because you have less of it. This is simple math. And once again, we're just in speculation and hypotheticals here on how much XRP could potentially get locked up. But what I'm so excited about, with the Clarity Act, with XRP DeFi all built out, there's no more excuses. And I don't know about you, but I don't want any more excuses. Excuses don't pay the bills. Excuses don't cut a check. Excuses can't be cashed. And we're over. We're just so done with it. I'm tired of projects being able to say, oh, without clear rules of the road. I'm tired of our XRP builders having excuses. We're going to give all of our builders the tools, and then it'll be up to them to go build. And I'm telling you right now, this setup for XRP is so unique. 99% of crypto isn't paying attention. Most people in XRP aren't even aware of what's happening, but we are. And we're going to keep you guys tapped in. And I want you guys to stay tuned for this next deep dive that I do on XRP Collateral, running through some hypotheticals. And I'll tell you right now that I know that it won't take much for us to get to high prices of XRP playing through those scenarios. Now, big hack, cold card wallets, and a lot of people are concerned. And the numbers are pretty shocking. We've had 1.57 million Bitcoin lost via self-custody, 1.51 million Bitcoin lost on exchanges, and apparently this is from River's 2025 report. So I don't know if that's true. I can't confirm that right now. But what we can confirm is that the hackers, the scammers, the impersonators, they're coming. We've seen this issue with Cold Card, another big issue. And then we also have a very sophisticated attack taking place out of South Korea. Fake sites cloning Flare Network, Zaman, Zora, and other XRP brands. So South Korean police separately probe fake staking sites. Estimated losses exceed over 13 million US. And so the Korean authorities over there are on it. But, every day it seems like we have another issue. Every time I check my notifications, there's a fake Firelight scam that I've been tagged in. And I can't block them and report them fast enough. There's the news, fake Zaman, fake Doppler. And so XRP community, you guys need to be safe out here. I don't even really talk to anybody. Just stop. Like, nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to come up in your DMs and help you double your XRP. And most of this, just stop. Just I like turn off your phone. Essentially, is what I'm saying, right? Put your phone on do not disturb. The way that translates to crypto, and what I'm saying here is put your wallets on do not disturb. Stop interacting with all this crap. Nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's coming to get you more crypto. People are coming to take your crypto. So the reason why I kind of lash out kind of aggressively like that is because we have to go over the top. I have to urge and be over the top cautious and over the top safe and tell you literally just don't do anything to err on the side of caution out here. I can't tell you guys, we've had millions taken from our community. Millions. And it's only going to get worse from here. Now, we got a notice here from Decent. Decent is not affected by the recent cold card incident. With many of you asking how hardware wallets generate and protect private keys, here's how Decent works. I'm not going to go through it, but this is not affecting Decent. Not affecting, haven't seen a statement from EliPal yet. That's one of the other wallets that we like. Tangim's another good one. I've seen a post from them. And so the issue here with cold card does not affect all cold storage, but you need to double check where we're at. And I never put all of my eggs in one basket. And this is why I've just recently created the premium custody account with iTrust Capital. I'm going to continue using cold storage and self-custody, yes, but most of my crypto's now going to free institutional grade custody. You guys check out the difference right here. And by the way, they have actually enabled the ability to withdraw from the premium custody account. So you do have the closed loop system. And if you do want to withdraw, get your XRP out, your other crypto, you can now as well. Assets are held one-to-one off balance sheet. This isn't the case for cold storage or an exchange. Now, you get some tax reporting from an exchange. You might get institutional custody from exchange, most likely not. And other providers are going to charge you AUM fees too. You don't have any AUM fees here with iTrust Capital. And you have 24/7, 365 buying and selling on exchanges, of course. But that's about all that you're going to get as a benefit from the exchanges. None of that you're getting from the cold storage. You know, and I'm not here to bash cold storage. Once again, I still use cold storage. I like Decent. I like EliPal. We have them linked up down below, and we have them at my website as well. But for the majority of my holdings, guys, when you get to 6 and 7 figures plus in crypto, I'm not going to take on that liability myself. I'm not going to rely on myself. I mean, maybe if I could afford 24/7 armed security at my place to guard all of my cold storage and everything, sure. But for now, I just would rather remove the liability and the responsibility. And when we can rely on these institutional custody providers that have all of their systems dialed in, you have full control, full segregation of the accounts, and you have bankruptcy remote protection. That allows me to sleep peacefully at night. I'm going to continue to have my cold storage, but majority of my holdings are now in institutional grade custody. So if you guys haven't checked it out or signed up with iTrust Capital, we have them linked up down below. When you use my link, you'll get a $100 funding bonus. So take advantage of that. And they also have the product for your retirement funds too. If you're looking to roll over a 401k to an IRA with iTrust, they got you covered there. Now, we'll be watching this XRP market. We have crypto, a little bit of a move back up here today, but it hasn't really been all that big. Let's take a look right here. XRP, this is actually on the monthly chart, and you can see that we've been consolidating in this range for the past couple months. And now I'm looking for XRP to make that one final move back down. We're at $1.08 here right now, but definitely still expecting that sweep below $1. I have my orders placed right above $1, right above 90 cents. I'm going to let them go get filled up if we go down there. If not, my bags are packed. So preparing for that downside. If we don't get the Clarity Act passed, if we see some issues there, that could be what pushes us below $1. And if you don't have your orders in, I don't think that they're going to get filled up. So get tapped in. If you appreciate our content, please help us out by liking this video, sharing it out far and wide. I got another video lined up for you guys right here. The subscribe button for your convenience has been placed right here. Make sure you hit that notification bell too, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you and God bless.